Good morning. I am calling to order the Audit Committee meeting for Tuesday, September 9th. Let's start with an invocation, please, if you'll bow your heads. Lord, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the people who are here today to do the county's business. Be with us as we go through this agenda. Some of these items on here are difficult and affect far reaches of our county and our community. Please help us to make these decisions in wisdom and in truth. In your name we pray. Amen. Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have a quorum with 4 of the 4 members present, and we need an approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Have you had a chance to review these?
Move to accept.
Second. So moved. Do we have any changes to the agenda for this committee?
Ready for your approval, Madam Chair.
Very good. Let's move directly into our new business. Mr. Snyder, what do you have for us today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to be with you on this beautiful morning here in Columbia County. Particularly nice day. We'll start with the Board of Elections. We did recently complete an internal audit of the Board of Elections. We went through all of our standard steps, such as looking at purchase card transactions without any exceptions, purchase requisitions, again, without any exceptions, timesheets. Also, it's kind of interesting, the Secretary of State regulates the Board of Elections in a certain way. We looked into that, found that there had been no findings there. We looked at issuance of W-2s or 1099s for temporary election workers and found no issues there. There are some rules around when you have to do a 1099 for an election worker. Found no issues. Made certain general inquiries and observations, and if you look at page 8 and especially page 9, you can see some interesting statistics that we found.
Before you move into that, I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
On the page that talks about the workers who earn $600 or more during the year are issued a W-2 form by the IRS. Is that different than normal 1099?
I think the circumstance that there may be a special carve out for it, but I think the reason for that is just the de minimis earnings, because of course there are temporary employees that would come through the Board of Elections.
You don't have to issue a W-2 for somebody under $600, is that correct?
Right, I believe.
So once they hit the $600 threshold, then it flips to W-2?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Continue, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
So yes, we did make some general inquiries and observations. We toured the warehouse. A lot of equipment these days in elections. It's, as we all know, we've all been to vote. There's fairly complicated equipment. They're stored in a warehouse. And as I mentioned, there are some statistics that we found. I thought it was interesting that the percentage of active voters is around 75 to 78%. 75 in 2020, 78 in 2024. I find that kind of interesting. It's perhaps not as important as the other aspects of the internal audit, but we found no issues at the Board of Elections.
When we have, and this is, I guess, a budget, when we have mandates from the state that we have to change the kind of paper that we use, what happens to the equipment? Do we have to dispose of it? Do we have to burn it, shred it? Do you know, or this may be a question for Glenn?
The equipment, yes, if the equipment's replaced and they filled new equipment, then we would have to receive that new equipment and dispose of the old equipment.
So you destroy the old equipment?
Well, the old equipment's usually picked up by the state.
And then
New equipment's delivered by the state.
And then a couple of years ago, I think it was the last election, we had to have a different kind of paper, for example. We had a ton of the old kind of paper that was some kind of special expensive paper that we had to use, but then we had to get a new kind of paper. Did the state pay for that?
So what happened was, it is proprietary paper, and that has to be used in their printers to prevent jam. So we had what we needed on hand, but then legislation was passed saying that that water, or that paper had to be watermarked. And so the new paper that you could use could only be the watermarked paper. Now, the question did come up, could we have used that paper somewhere else? It was highly recommended to not do that, to stop it from inadvertently ending up back in the printers and being used, and then you're gonna have a ballot that's challenged. And that just creates problems. So when something like that does happen, yeah, there's an impact funding
And that's on us or the
on
state
us.
pays for it?
That's on us.
Ancillaries to pro.
They're not gonna give us the money to do that, and especially for those expendables, paper, ink cartridges, that sort of thing, batteries or another. So it's, running elections, not cheap,
No.
not cheap.
Mr. Snyder, in looking at the equipment and storage and stuff, was part of your audit to see if we had any of the old stuff still there?
No, I did not look for outdated equipment, and we did not look specifically at the paper. We observed the warehouse, seeing that it was secured and that the equipment was being stored in a secure location. It was a significant amount of equipment, so we didn't count it 100%. We sort of spot checked it, and we didn't have nothing, tickled our antennas about any issues with that.
Thank you. Please continue.
So, are there any other questions about the Board of Elections?
All good? Thank you. Next.
So my second report is for the clerk of court. We recently went out and did some work with them. A little bit different as not only an elected official, but also they, as opposed to the Board of Elections, they actually handle some cash. So we started off with the most basic sort of counting down the change fund, walking through the process of cash collection and how it's recorded, receipted, and found no exceptions in any of that testing. We then traced that through the cash collection process to deposited in the bank, recorded in the general ledger, and we saw no issues in cash collections. Everything seemed to be in order there. Also, everything that the clerk of court brings in goes back out. We call it an agency fund, where everything they collect, they remit to somewhere else. And so we looked at cash remittances and looked at all the various different funds that the cash goes to. We noted no exceptions there. All of the supporting documentation agreed to the cash amounts and the checks clearing the bank account. We look for something we call excess cash, which is, as I just mentioned, because really everything that goes into the clerk of court's office comes back out. We look for any leftover funds. And we noted some what we considered immaterial differences, which I attribute to timing, because we traced everything in and everything out. At the moment in time that we asked, this is the cash you have, where does all this cash go? We were able to reconcile it down to a relatively small amount, considering issues we've had with that in other departments in the past. We looked at purchase requisitions and purchase card transactions without any issues at all. Looked at timesheets and made some general observations while we were there. The only issue that we had was with bank reconciliations. Preparing a bank reconciliation is like balancing your checkbook. You're simply trying to track transactions that haven't cleared the bank yet. And the reconciliation is the bridge between the bank statement and the general ledger. Now, there are two sides to, our recommendation is to do a better job with bank reconciliations. There are really two sides to it. One is old outstanding checks. Really, we show there are several, but really there's one that's 6 years old for $151,000, really the only material check. And of course, that's dealt with through the unclaimed property process. Checks that are over 5 years old are remitted to the state as unclaimed property. Yesterday, I had a chance to sit down with Cindy Mason and discuss this, and she's fully aware of how the unclaimed property thing works. And so our recommendation, as far as outstanding checks over 5 years old, is to go ahead and remit those. And she agreed and suggested that she should do that. She suggested she should do that annually. I think that's a good idea.
I feel like we talked about this very issue the last time you were here from the audit of that department, and that was also what was said from management over there, that they would take care of it. Have they cleaned up some of them since then?
As I mentioned, you can see we've made a chart here of all the different checks. You can see that many of them are very small. The one that's $151,000 is from 2019, that's 6 years old. There were some other checks which were literally $9. There's an amount $9.50 and $14.75 that showed up repeatedly, so that must be some sort of court fee refund or something, because it's the same amount over and over again. And some of those were very old, but also very immaterial. So again, I suggested that time to take a look at these things over 5 years old, go ahead and get them handled, and then an annual checkup of anything over 5 years old would be a good policy. The other side of outstanding items on a bank reconciliation is deposits in transit. And deposits in transit are very unusual in this modern age with fast transactions. The only way you would have a deposit in transit would be if you showed up at the bank on the 31st after close and made a night deposit, and then the deposit would show up in the bank account the following month, and it would be in your general ledger in the first month. So this amount of aged outstanding deposits is clearly an error. And we looked at it, again, I met with Cindy Mason yesterday. We looked at this together, and she acknowledged that it is incorrect. It's likely it feels to me like a glitch. And what I mean by that is so many of these, on this list of outstanding deposits, many of them are on the same day, which is January 31st of 2022. So it is an error in the accounting record, but doesn't represent any sort of missing money. I want to be clear about that. I always try to clarify when we have errors like this. It doesn't represent any sort of misappropriated funds in any way, but it's an error in accounting records which overstates the cash account. So, and there's one particular account that's what they call the general real estate account that has this overstatement in it. So, as I mentioned, I met with Cindy Mason yesterday and showed her the exact transactions that are of concern. I can't speak for her, but I can say that she did take the meeting seriously and seems to have made a commitment to get that fixed.
There's over $1 million of outstanding aged checks.
Well, 800,000.
Are those?
That's deposits.
Deposits.
And
Oh,
then
yes.
that
So,
against checks is about.
yes, as just to be clear, there are the two things going opposite directions. The aged outstanding checks are regular checks that just haven't been cashed yet, and that leads to the process of unclaimed property. There's a process to take care of that, and they do actually have an obligation to wait that 5 years, as I understand the way that's written. So there's a process for trying to contact the payee, and so that's one side, which I think is the easier side to fix. The other side is, again, some sort of error in record keeping that has created this deposit in transit that doesn't really exist. Are there any other questions about that? There's just one other thing I was going to mention that the clerk of court now prepares or sells passports, which we made some inquiries about starting in February. There are some passport options. You can get accelerated processing and stuff, but basically it's about $100 to get a passport, $35 fee to do it, which is paid to the clerk of court. And they've done about, from February until the time that we were looking at the numbers, they had done about 500 of these passports, which is about $17,000 in those fees. So we didn't see any issue with those, but just wanted to report back.
Is that $35 to the clerk of court or the clerk of court's office?
Clerk of court's office.
Now, the fees that are divided between the office and the clerk herself, I didn't see any notice, I didn't see any notes in here where you had audited that process. Can you tell us what you found? Did you look at that?
To be honest, no. That's very interesting. I would say when I was talking to Cindy Mason, I suggested that perhaps in regards to the reconciling items that we might come back a shorter time frame than the usual three years, maybe in a few months, come back and try to check out those bank reconciliations. And at that time, I could add to my procedures and sort of analysis of which funds go directly to the clerk versus to the clerk's office. Certainly looking.
I think that would be an item of interest for this committee. If you'll please add that. And
Directly to
yes,
the, when you say directly to the clerk, you mean taking it as personal compensation?
yes.
That's for the constitutional officers. There are circumstances which, as a voter, I kind of wish that it wasn't set up like this. But there are circumstances where constitutional officer can directly be compensated through transactions. I believe $35 actually does fall in that category. I apologize for not being prepared to address that directly. But yes, there are circumstances where constitutional officers are allowed to be compensated directly for various transactions.
Yes, let's please add that to,
Sure.
to the next round. When we look at the ones coming up, I see maintenance and lodging tax for the next one. Can we add that as a third item here for next quarter?
Or you want to get back to the clerk of court before the next quarter? Sure.
Sure, yeah.
All right, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it would be prudent
And that,
to protect the county and also our clerk of court, John, for you to figure out where this money is being deposited and then how it's being distributed. She's legally allowed to keep those fees, but I think the process is also important.
Yes.
So if we could come up with that process.
Yes. So in the case of a $100 passport, the $100 goes to the Secretary of State right there. The $35 stays here in the county. And I can dig further into the exact process.
So to be clear, she has the legal right to $35.
Yes.
Right.
17,000.
Yes, which comes up to about 17,000 over the.
In the first 6 months.
In discussing it with her, she further explained that the processing fee is covering some of the operational costs, such as the postage. So she's, in discussing it with her, she's funding the program with the $35, as she explained.
oh, so you feel like this 35 is going to the office, not the clerk personally?
But that is, yes, in the sense that the $35 processing fee is being used to make in her explanation, being used to make the passport program self-sustaining so that it doesn't drain resources from other aspects of the office.
Very good. Well, I look forward to your report
I think it's
on
just
that next.
transparency perspective, if income to the clerk of court, citizens need to know.
Sure. Well, I can get more detailed information about that. As I mentioned, I had a good meeting with her yesterday, and we discussed some of the processes, but I can do it more in depth and get it into a report. We can bounce back to her and get it done in time for next quarter, so that we can also check on the bank reconciliation issue we're concerned about.
Good. And And let's see, we have maintenance and lodging tax for next
Yes.
quarter's report as well.
Yes, I was just actually discussing with the deputy managers that I need to, I think I need to update my list of departments to better understand some recent changes. But the maintenance department and related departments are due for an internal audit, and I'm wanting to make sure that I fully understand the way those departments are set up before I get to it, but I plan to do it.
Very good.
All right,
Thank you. We'll see you in
Thanks.
3 months.
all right.
Committee members, do you have any further questions about the information presented to us today? All right, let's see. Do we have any public comment? All right, in this section, I'd like to acknowledge our leadership Columbia County folks who are here. I see a bunch of you. I want you all stand up. No, don't just wave at me. Stand up, stand up. You gotta do the thing. Stand up and start at one end and tell who you are, who you work for, and go all the way down, and let's hear from you.
Ryan Logan.
Hey, Chief.
And Fire Chief.
Thank you for being here, and I hope you learned something. Please know that we're fixing to adjourn and then come back for some more committee meetings, so we hope you'll stay and hear some more about the county. We are going to adjourn this meeting at 8:51 and return in 3 minutes for Management and Internal Services. Thank you. Good morning. I'm calling to order the Management and Internal Services Committee meeting for Tuesday, September the 9th. We have already prayed and pledged, and I have a roll call with 3 members present. Need approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Committee members, have you had an opportunity to review those minutes?
I have, so moved.
Second.
Thank you. And we have any changes to the agenda?
Ready for your approval, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. I don't have any presentations or anything for the consent agenda, so we'll move directly into debate. Mr. Johnson, what do you have for us today?
First item we have your consideration is the employee medical premium rates and spousal surcharge, some changes to our medical coverage. As you know, we are experiencing higher than normal claims, so we've had to take a look at what we need to do to sustain our medical plan. Ms. McBurney and folks in HR have done a really good job of working out some issues that we have. So one of the things that we are recommending today is that there will be a 10% increase in premiums. You can see those premiums listed. Still provides a great value for the amount of insurance we get. These are also pre-tax rates, so they're actually a little bit cheaper. We're also considering not covering certain weight loss medications. We found that that's a trend that our plan has been experiencing, especially here in Columbia County, and we understand that there may be a need for some of those things, but it's costing our plan upwards to almost $2 million a year now, and that's something that's just happened in the last couple of years. So we're saying that we're not going to cover those anymore unless it's for a specific
Well, if somebody has a diagnosis.
medical
I mean,
reason. Correct.
medical
That is
reason,
correct.
right.
That is correct. And then the last piece of this is a spousal surcharge. Many companies do this. So if a spouse is covered and they do not have access to medical insurance through their employer, then there'll be no surcharge. But if the spouse does have access through an employer-sponsored program, there will be a $50 surcharge per paycheck for our employees. Again, it's a much cheaper way than somebody getting their own insurance, but each employee would have to make that decision. So staff recommends increasing the premiums, applying the spousal surcharge, and removal of the weight loss medication from our health plan.
How did we come up with the $50 number?
We actually looked at other programs, other places, just to kind of see what they charged, and I think this is a first step. When I met with the employees in my most recent open forum, I did talk about this 10% increase is year one. We're probably looking at doing this over a 3-year period, but implementing it incrementally. We're also going to go back and look at the spousal surcharge and look at that incrementally too. I don't think it's too high, it may be too low, but we want to make sure that we do that incrementally for our employees.
Any questions?
I'm aware of a day job, I'm aware of companies that charge as much as $500 a month,
Correct.
so.
Any other questions? All right,
Move to consent.
Second.
thank you. Next.
Next item we have your consideration. This is our renewal with United Healthcare. You will see that we do have an increase. This is related to our individual stop loss and aggregate stop loss. We're going to remain at the same levels for our stop loss. You can also see the rebate share for the prescriptions. So staff is recommending the renewal of the health insurance contract with United Healthcare. Again, kudos to Ms. McBurney, who has announced her retirement. She is close to the end of her career here in Columbia County, but has done an outstanding job. Once again, very successfully negotiated this contract for us. We're going to hate to see her go, but we're very comfortable with this. We recommend approval of renewing the health insurance contract.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved, and thank you, Ms. McBurney. I think you did a good job, yes.
Don't go.
We tried that.
Just come up here and negotiate this for us. All right, next.
Next item we have is your contract with Employee Services, Inc. This is our employee assistance program. You can see that we are negotiated a 5-year contract with a guaranteed fixed rate for years 1 through 3, and then a 2% increase for years 4 and 5. Again, we're very comfortable with this. Total number of people covered in this is 1,423. Contract price will be $35,546.54 based on the current census, and then obviously it would go up from there. So staff recommends awarding the new contract to Employee Services for 5 1-year terms at the guaranteed rate discussed, and then for years 1 through 3, and then years 4 and 5 with the increased amount.
This is just a 1-year renewal, though?
It's
It's a 5-year.
5
term.
1-year terms. Correct.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. I just wanted to make a comment as I was reading through this packet. I didn't realize all the services that were available to our employees through this. Do we have some kind of program to make sure they all know these things are available?
We do put it out in open enrollment. We also discuss it periodically. I know that HR gets a lot of requests for things. Sometimes the employee don't know that the service is available, but if they have a problem, they will go to HR, and they're encouraged to go to HR with the problem, and then HR will help them steer them to the right solution. So these programs are widely used.
My next question was going to be, do we have any statistics on how many employees?
I don't know if we have the exact number, but we can look at that to see, but we use it considerably.
I would like to know how many.
I can tell you.
How many
We can
we-
give you a number.
Very good, thank you. We have a motion and a second, and this is moved to consent. Next item, please.
Next item for your consideration is the committee meetings to be held on November the 11th. That's the Veterans Day holiday. So we are recommending that the MIS and Development Planning Services Committee meetings be canceled on that day. We're not rescheduling those. We're just, if we need to move items, we will move items, but staff recommends
You'll move into the
canceling
other committees if necessary.
if necessary.
Okay, so in reading this, I want to be sure we're clear. So in November, the first set of committee meetings, which would be these two committees, that falls on a holiday. So we're saying, let's not do that. We'll do them all on 25th of November, and that's Thanksgiving week, but we'll make that work. Then we have this committee on December 9th. End of December, for the other committees would be December 23rd. So part of this is also canceling that and moving those up. So we're canceling November 11th and December 23rd, but we will have meetings on November 25th and December 9th.
That is correct. Yeah, the next item covers the December meetings.
Oh,
That is
sorry.
correct.
Sorry. Got ahead of you, reading it on here. Do we have any questions or comments?
Second.
So moved.
So the next item is requesting that all of our committee meetings be held on December the 9th because of the Christmas holiday. So staff will work to make sure that we carry any items that need to be done. We'll work them into other committees and get those on the agendas for you if we
Very
need
good.
to.
Second.
So moved. Thank you.
Next item we have your consideration, this is purchase of Building A furniture. As you know, our new Building A is well underway and working towards completion. We have been working on the furniture piece of this. It was not in the contractor's original contract. We decided to pull that out so we could utilize state contract and cooperative agreement pricing and not receive any markup from a general contractor on this. So we pulled this item out. The total amount, you can see the list there of where they're being purchased from, either from state contract or for the cooperative agreements, in the amount of $2,093,304.98. This is all part of the Building A contract, and staff recommends approval.
If a contractor had it, what would the markup be on top of it? No.
Yeah, that's a question for
It
somebody.
would be in the bid, and all of the bids for these are hard bids. So they just, contractors just put a number in there and usually don't tell you.
It'd be something.
It would be something.
Some number.
It could be anywhere from 5 to 10%. So yes, this was very smart for you to do it. And if there's any problems with these, the county purchased it directly, can go directly to the supplier rather than having to go through the general contractor who purchased it and through warranty ordeal that way. So this is cheaper and smarter and way more efficient but this way. I do have a question though. SPLOST funds are used for the capital expenditure of building the building. Is this part of the SPLOST budget as well?
Yeah, it's all part of the same budget, and these are allowed expenditures through that program.
Very good.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Is there anything else on your section, Mr. Johnson?
No, ma'am.
All right, Colonel Kennedy, what do you
Kennedy.
have?
Yes, ma'am. The next item is the GDOT FY 2027 Rural Transportation Program application. This item comes up every year. It was typically briefed by Ms. Reese, who passed it to Mr. Luton, who passed it back to me because he needs it now. So here we are. There's two parts to this, an operating budget and a capital budget. On the operating budget, there's no change from last year. That's gives us a 50% cost share on that. On the capital budget, this year we're in need of 3 replacements according to the Transit Asset Management Plan for 3 vans with lifts. And our cost share on that will be 10%, which is $43,500.
We sell the other vans, or we replace them, do we continue?
That is, it is an option for us to buy them.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, we surplus them, I believe. Is that correct?
We are looking at the possibility of expanding this program. I've asked Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Luton to look at the ridership to see how many people are waiting, because I know I've gotten some reports that everybody that wants a ride is not getting one. So
Really?
there may be a possibility of us looking at getting these new vans and potentially keeping one, but we'd have to make a budget amendment to be able to staff that. But we want to make sure that we service our citizens. So right now, we're just looking at this item, but I want you to let you know there's a deeper dive going on to the ridership.
Good program. Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. About how many shuttles do we have on the road at any given time? Good morning.
So we're currently staffed with 9 full-time drivers. We keep 9 vehicles on the road at all times. We have a reserve vehicle that a number of years ago we purchased for when vehicles go in for maintenance, so we keep 9 vehicles on the road. We do have days where we fill up because the way we operate is referred to as demand response. So there's no fixed route in Columbia County. We're curb-to-curb service. So we go to all the addresses in Columbia County, pull up to the curb, and so it's based on time and distance. So it would be great to have more staff. There is a great need in Columbia County. We're an atypical county, meaning that we're unincorporated and have a large population. So we've continued to be a 5311 program for the 20 years that I've been here. And in the 20 years that I've been here, the county has grown significantly. So it is a good program. I appreciate your support on that. We are well-staffed, but we could use more staff.
The Reader's Digest version of the program for folks who may not be aware, can you just, like in a few sentences?
Yeah, so Columbia County Public Transit is for all Columbia County residents. We serve every address in Columbia County and go as far into Richmond County as the medical district. It amazes people when I tell them that we have no hospital in Columbia County. That's being rectified. But for everybody else, we have to go to the medical district in Richmond County. So that's kind of our cutoff area. But we serve every address in Columbia County, whether it's taking somebody to visit a friend, residential setting, taking them to a commercial establishment, a restaurant, shopping center, or a medical establishment. So we serve the whole county.
How much does it cost? If I call and said, hey, come pick me up and take me to Target, how much?
Well, y'all are very generous. It costs, the rider does not pay anywhere near the actual cost of the program. For seniors over the age of 60, it's $3 one way, $6 round trip. And for anybody else under the age of 60, it's $4.50 one way, $9 round trip. So very affordable. We get a lot of calls. That's one of the reasons we could get more staff, because you can't call a private provider or a taxi for anywhere near that.
That's right.
So we stay full.
And when people call, how long does it take for you to get, I mean, I know it's not like a taxi or an Uber, you come right then, they schedule.
So all
it
the drivers are radio dispatched. So we pick everybody up starting shortly after 8 o'clock in the morning and drop folks off at their appointments. Then when they're done, they call and we dispatch the nearest vehicle. So typical wait times are less than an hour. But again, what I tell everybody is time is money. You're not going to spend a whole lot of money with us. So you're going to probably have to spend a little time with us.
Was
Be clear,
behind
this is a,
all the years.
this is a
Oh,
bus
really?
service. This is our public transit.
Yes, we operate
Right.
28-foot-long shuttle buses.
Right.
I bet most people in Columbia County don't even know that we have that service.
What I tell everybody is if you need us, you'll find us.
Very good.
That's the way it works.
Thank you so much for everything you do. I appreciate it. We have a motion?
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Kennedy?
No, ma'am, that's it.
Mr. Blanchard, what do you have for us today?
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
The first item I have for your consideration is the payment authorization for our Cisco SmartNet renewal. You're aware that we have Cisco products that really form the backbone of our network infrastructure. We have two components. We have hardware pieces and we have software. The SmartNet renewal is for the hardware pieces. So in essence, what we're requesting today is to pay for the ongoing support maintenance of our Cisco hardware. So we're requesting out of IT's operating budget for this year, $255,216.40. That number is higher than last year. Last year, it was $237,571.74. That's a number that's going to fluctuate from year to year because we have equipment in different ages or stages of its life cycle. So next year, it could be a little bit more, it could be the same, it could be less, depending on where we are in that life cycle process. Staff recommends approval.
How often, on average, do you have to replace it? What is the life cycle of a?
It depends on the equipment, because this would include things like our phones, network switches, and there's different types of network switches. Some are more durable than others, depending on what. Generally, an average of all that equipment is probably from 5 to 6 years.
Move to consent. Thank you.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Right. Next item I have is the Cisco Enterprise Agreement Payment Authorization for 2025-2026. Mentioned SmartNet for the hardware components. The Enterprise Agreement is for our software components with Cisco. The cost for that is $153,112.61, which will be funded through IT's operating budget, and that amount is the same as last year.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Next.
Next item I have for your consideration is the approval of a non-disclosure agreement for county use. You're aware that my division is responsible for our cybersecurity. So the purpose of this non-disclosure agreement is that when we have an agreement with a company who is providing services for us, meaning that we're going to provide them with network credentials to come in and do a security assessment, or they're going to come on site and do a security assessment, then we would want them to have this additional in addition to their contract, we would want their individual employees to sign this agreement to make sure that we've got that protection, that whatever they see here, they don't share with anybody. And that's purely a cybersecurity protection measure. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. And you have one more?
Yes, ma'am. Final item I have for you is our CityWorks annual maintenance payment authorization. CityWorks is software that we use for asset management and work orders, service orders. It's used by various departments. It is supported by our GIS department. And the cost this year is $113,859.90. Be paid out of GIS's operating budget for this year. Last year was $111,300, so it did go up slightly. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Do you have anything else for us?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. And facility services. Mr. Prather, what do we have from you today?
Morning. I have one
Morning.
item for your consideration. I would typically bring this with a construction contract, but it was a little late getting into our office, so I apologize. This is an independent contract agreement with WSP, who performs our special inspections and construction materials testing. This is for the Performing Arts Center Support Facility Project. We are about to get started on that and issue a notice to proceed probably the next 3 weeks. So this is a contract with WSP to provide services for us, the owner. Staff recommends approval.
Will you talk a little bit about exactly what kind of testing services they'll be?
Sure. So the site we know has rock. We've done geotechnical testing there. So they help quantify and classify rock for us that we'll pay as a unit price to the contractor. They test concrete. They do paving. They do subsurface and compaction tests before we pave areas. So a host of different testing and special inspections is required by IBC and the state.
Do we anticipate the same rock issues as with the original Performing Arts Center contract?
Yes, ma'am.
Questions?
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you, Mr. Prather. And having no other items on debate agenda, we'll move into legal matters. No legal matters and staff reports.
Yes, I have a few reports for your information this morning. The first is the year-to-date budget report for the month ended August 31st. We should be operating around 17%, and everything is as it should be as of this month. I will add that we are currently working on the year-end June 30, 2025 audit information. The auditors should get started within the next week or so, and that will be presented at the December meeting during that audit committee. I will tell you that we are having an unusual audit year dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene and all of the costs associated with that and the federal funding associated with that. So that has put us behind just slightly, but we will be fine. And of course, the auditors are going to have to audit that program. So that's going to take a little more time as well, so.
Good question, though. Where do we stand with getting reimbursed?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Glenn.
Yes, sir. Sean's not here?
Behind you.
All right, then correct me if I'm wrong. So we have 25 million pending at GMA, and that'll bring us to 42 having been reimbursed.
So the money's come from the feds to the state.
To the state, and then it sits at GMA. Can be 12 to 20 weeks.
I apologize, I couldn't keep up with all your numbers.
So we got
There's
17,
25 million there right now.
Right.
but we
pending.
got 17 advanced, and then there's another 25 in the hopper, which brings us to 42.
That one project.
But we don't have it in our hand yet.
That's correct.
It's just kind of like there, we
That's
may
correct.
eventually get, that's 42.
It's been obligated, yes. And then there's another 6.9 that we received that we should get another 3 as a part of that. That's also another Category A. There's another Category A that we just put in for 16 million. That's for the 75% that we got, not the 100% from the first 120 days. There's also Category C through G that, as of right now, add up to about 4 million. We put in for a 2.2 million for Category B, which is Emergency Protective Services. There's going to be another one of those out. This was just for the invoices, not the personnel hours. There's also,
Let me oversimplify. We spent X,
we spent
plan on
78.
receiving Y.
We spent 78 so far,
Yeah, and we have received,
and we've received 17 plus 6. So we've received
With
about
a little bit of
25.
insurance money as well.
Right, and we're waiting on another 25.
The 25 is it's there at GMA.
It just takes them, like I said,
That'll
12
bring it to
get in the
42.
truck, we got enough trucks, right up there and get it.
That'd be great. Just say the word, call somebody, and I'll go get it.
Would be more than happy to do that.
I see senators showing up on Facebook
40, that'll bring us to 42, having been reimbursed.
of 78. Okay, that's what I was just trying to grasp.
Yeah,
that.
78's the number right now, but that doesn't count boys and girls in the county. That doesn't count the work that we put into it. That's invoices and
There's more pending.
debris. Debris is 71 on its own.
71 in addition to the 78?
No,
No,
Okay, sorry.
Of the 78.
That's a lot of money.
it's a lot.
And then but the program to clean up the creeks was totally separate.
Yes, sir.
Separate.
That's separate.
I'll just add that, I mean, you all know this, but I want to go on record publicly and say it, that this requires, the hurricane relief required a tremendous amount of work. And then after that, we have a tremendous amount of paperwork. Mr. Granado and his team have done an outstanding job of making sure that we cross every T and dot every I, because I can assure you that if we leave one thing off, we'll not get our money. They're probably a little frustrated with us about how well we do keep records and how hard he does work to make sure that we're getting every penny, because we're getting pushback almost on a daily basis, I would think, about things that we're putting in to be reimbursed for. At the end of the day, we're not looking to make any money. We're just trying to make our taxpayers whole. We did a good job of responding to this emergency, but now we're in hurricane season again, and we don't know what's coming up on us. We need to get our money back. So we're working hard. We're pushing. I have been in touch with the director of GMA. He assures me that he's working through the process. It's a very slow process, and unfortunately, the state and the federal government are a little more bureaucratic than we are.
And he's got 49 counties that, just like us, are begging for their
Correct.
money. But I will tell you, when Donald J. Trump was here, he looked me in the eye and shook my hand and said, "We're going to take care of you. We're going
Like
to
he
take care of
did do
Columbia
that.
County. Don't you worry about it."
Right.
He did do that.
He did say that.
He did say that.
Let me
Didn't
call
say
him.
when.
Somebody got his number, I'll call him.
I was up there last week. I should
He
have
should have handled it.
handled
So in
it.
other words, we've collected 23 and we're waiting on 25 more that's sitting at the
That's
state.
correct.
And we
We're
spent
waiting for
78.
25.
Sir?
We're waiting for that 25.
Correct, and that'll take us to 48 or whatever.
and I'll
It was
just
easier
add,
to get it off Christy Nome's desk than, I'm not joking, than it is to get it from FEMA or GMA.
I'll just add on the insurance side, because we're working that side as well. And we are supposed to be getting another 300 and something thousand. Jennifer Neal told me just yesterday. And that might not sound like a lot, but for a cash flow situation, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I'll take whatever we can get.
And while we're going down a rabbit hole, just for the folks sitting here, just wanted to get an update on Savannah Rapids Pavilion. I have a lot of questions, people asking about that, and the towpath as well on down the rabbit hole. But will you give a quick update on that, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, so Savannah Rapids, as you know, sustained significant damage. We actually went in and mitigated the damage to the extent that we could by getting all the water stuff out. We took it down to the bare bones. We then engaged an architect to come back in and redesign it. We have almost completed the design. I think we're very close to the end of that.
And we were going to renovate it anyway, but this kind of pushed us.
Correct. That is correct. So we're very close to the end of the design. We hope to get it out to bid this year, I believe is the challenge, to try to get it out.
And the towpath is not part of that.
And the towpath is not part of Columbia County. We don't have any control of that. That's Richmond County working on that. I know they've engaged an engineer to work on that, but we don't have anything to do with that.
Get a lot of questions about that, I'm sure you do. Thank you for that update. So that was the budget report. We got way off track, Miss Leanne. I'm so sorry. Did we?
I started that,
Did
sorry.
we finish that part? of it?
Done.
Okay, tell us about SPLOST.
So for the SPOS, we have collected money for the month of July. That was almost $3.3 million, which is an annualized percentage increase of 6.92%. This is 2.18% more than last month and 3.61% more than the same month last year.
Excellent. Any questions? All right, and the investment report, please.
Yes, the investment report is just for your information.
Do we have any questions on that report? Thank you. Seeing none, do we have any commissioner or public comment? Nothing for executive session. We will adjourn the Management and Internal Services Committee meeting and return for Development and Planning in 3 minutes. Thank you.
to order the Development and Planning Services Committee meeting for Tuesday, September 9th. Having already given the invocation and pledge, we have a full quorum with 3 members present this morning. Have you had the opportunity to review the minutes from the August 12th meeting?
Move to accept.
Second.
They are accepted. Do we have any changes to the agenda today?
Ready for your approval, Madam Chair.
We'll move forward with it as is. Thank you. We do not have any presentation or consent agenda items this morning, so we'll head directly into the debate agenda and begin with Mr. Schlachter.
Good morning, ma'am. First one I have for you is the purchase of county vehicles. These are vehicles that were approved in the budget and 2 vehicles that are being replaced by risk management for vehicles that were totaled. We have worked with various suppliers. We do have state contracts on these vehicles. We also have a purchase or a patching truck included in this, which is a large vehicle. Each of the vehicles is under budget. I do have a list here attached for your use. It does show if it's a replacement or new. We have 3 new vehicles. Those are 2 of those are for our new crew for roads and bridges. 1 is for a new mechanic for our water utility sewer department, and the 2 risk are replacement as well. You do have a list there of how old the vehicles are that are being replaced, as well as what we've spent on maintenance on the vehicles that are being replaced. Again, they are all are under budget. Matter of fact, the budget we had is $2,000 short of covering the risk vehicles as well that we did not plan to buy that were totaled. So I think these are good prices. Be happy to answer any questions.
As a matter of observation, I see that this batch that's being replaced, they're as old as 2011 to, I think the newest one's
2009.
2016 is the newest one. So these vehicles are 10 plus years old and older. And so for folks who have questioned me about it, no, we're not getting new pickup trucks every 6 months out there. These are definitely well worn and used, and we're going to surplus these. I guess they're sold to.
General public, we'll have our big auction probably in March, I think we're talking about, Jessica, having a big auction, bring the public out, let them buy vehicles.
Well, I appreciate all the information, because whenever I see on an agenda item that we're buying trucks and vehicles, I break out into a rash.
I
Yes,
saw
he
you
does.
starting to itch.
Several have over 200.
I think this does catch us up for the budgeted light vehicles, right?
We're 6 shy. We've got,
Okay, so almost.
But I appreciate the information. It helps to see what we're replacing, how much we're spending on maintenance, how old they are and such, so.
That's a lot of maintenance going into these older vehicles. Thank you for your due
Second, if
diligence.
somebody said, sorry,
Move to consent.
second.
So moved. Thank you. Morning, Mr. Scarberry.
Good morning. First item I have for you is an alcohol beverage license for Legacy Ties LLC doing business as Eggs Up Grill. An applicant has applied for a beverage license to sell beer, wine, and distilled spirit for on-premise consumption from 1202 Town Park Lane, Suite 103. The applicant has provided all the required information, and the property has been posted as of August the 13th. And to our knowledge, there's no known opposition. Staff recommends approval.
Mr. Scarberry, on their application, there's an asterisk that says they will not have their patio open. What?
Yeah, if they do have the patio open for, alcohol consumption, there are certain requirements that need to be met there.
Oh,
Paul, do you know their hours of operation?
No, sir, I do not.
That's not on
I
the,
believe they close at 2
oh,
o'clock.
6 a.m., 2 o'clock.
So this is not a bar. This is breakfast mimosas. Right?
I help Mr. Duncan with his rash when he.
I'm all in.
No, I've eaten over there several times, and that is a lovely place. I would like to move to consent, please.
Second.
Thank you.
So moved. Thank you. Morning, Mr. Sterling.
Good morning again. I've got 3 items for your consideration. The first one's an easement encroachment agreement for tax map 067, parcel 2379. The applicant's requesting an easement encroachment agreement to allow the expansion of an existing driveway into the 10-foot side storm drain easement. Staff's reviewed it, has no concerns, so we're recommending approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Second item is a conditional license encroachment and maintenance agreement for the area of Wimbrel Court in the right-of-way. The River Island Property Owners Association is requesting a landscape encroachment and maintenance agreement for Wimbrel Court in River Island. They're asking to maintain the landscaping in that island at the end of Wimbrel Court. Staff's reviewed that, has got them to sign the landscape and encroachment maintenance agreement, so we are recommending approval.
And they understand that if for some reason we have to tear it up, it's not on us to replace it, correct?
They do.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. And the last one?
Easement encroachment agreement for 510 Pineview Court. The owners are seeking an easement encroachment agreement for a proposed retaining wall alongside property line between parcel 097 and 096 and a rear property line for the subject property. The retaining wall is located within the 5-foot side and 10-foot rear drainage and utility easements. Proposed wall will not exceed 6 feet in height. Staff's reviewed that request and agreement, and the encroachment has been signed, so therefore we're recommending approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Have any legal matters this morning? Back to you, Mr. Staff report.
All right. Attached for your information only, no action required, is the August 2025 Planning Department Workload Monthly Report. Any questions you might have?
Thank you, Mr. Scarberry.
All right, the first one I have is Development Services Monthly Report, and attaches a copy of that for your information. No further action is required. Answer any questions on that?
Questions?
None.
All right, the next one we have is the Financial Report for Development Services, and attaches a copy of that for your information. No further action required. Final one we have is the temporary event alcohol permits, and attaches a copy of that for your information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any commissioners or public comment this morning? Seeing that we have no executive session items, we will adjourn at 9:34 a.m.